Hello, mates. Well, don't forget, I'm 22200 years old. Well, tomorrow is 22201. For event 201. And I don't guess we should be like completely sleeping on tomorrow. There's no reason. I mean, other than I got a 201. No, but so I just like 18 times 4, tomorrow's number times. And then what did I do? Didn't I run it by, I think I ran it by Trump's number. Oh, that's what it was. So tomorrow with every number, it's 108 day of the year. You can do 4 times 18 times 2022 times 108 day of the year times 257 left in the year. I did all of them combined, and you do get a 404, which is the book of Revelation. I mean, the amount of verses in the book of Revelation. So yeah, I mean, that's something. And that whole thing when you run every number, like 257, 108, 2022 times 4 times 18. When you run all that times Trump's number, you do get the 66. So remember, it had the 404 in it. And then you times it by Trump and you get the 66. So remove Trump. Just all the numbers combined tomorrow. You got the 404 for the book of Revelation. Then you times it by Trump, because he's 4 times 16 times 1946. I'm sorry, 6 times 14 times 1946. And you times it by his number, 163464, and you get 66. So you go from 404, add him 66. Well, there's 404 verses in the 66th book of the Bible. So, and that's what it was. You times it by Trump's number and you get 66, the amount of books in the Bible, but 66 is the book of Revelation specific. And the 404 is also in that for the amount of verses in the book of Revelation. So that's a big thing. So we'll do it all over again. 18 times 4 times 2022 times the 108th day of the year times, get that decimal over there a little bit. Okay. Then it's times what's left. Then the 257th day of the year. I mean, 257 days left in the year. So you got the 404 there, but you times it by Trump, 163464. And you still got the 404 and the 66 that both rep the book of Revelation. That's big. And that's tomorrow. Now, and tomorrow I'm 201 days old for event 201. So whatever that's worth. Now tomorrow does hit on my original marriage date day. So when I got married, the day I got married, the first time ever in my life, which y'all remember has those crazy numbers in it. It's March 12th. That was 1983. And you got the 138 for Donald Trump and Simple Gematria, and 88 for Trump and Simple Gematria. So everything about my marriage is seems to point to Trump, and everything about Trump seems to point to my marriages, because my first wife's number was, she's August 8th, August 8th month times August 4th. So, all right, start over. She's August 4th, 1964, which is 8 times 4 times 1964, which comes to 62848. Okay. And so my first wife is 62. Well, my second wife, Candyman, Trump's Candyman, I'm Candyman. She would have been 63. And my third wife would be 64. Well, Trump's number is 163464. One second wife for the third wife. So everything about Trump's numbers and my numbers are all about my marriages, or Trump being the Antichrist, or it's just, they're interrelatable. And I like to say, to the pagan world, I'm their Antichrist, because I seem to be the vocal point guard for, well, the highest level of the church today, because nobody tells the truth like we do here at this channel. And that's all of us combined. We're all here. We're all one church, but I seem to be the vocal leader, the point guard, the person that, you know, puts out the channels, all that good stuff. And don't forget my number, 7 times 6 times 1961. 8 is the triangular number of 36. 36 is a triangular number of 666. So what is a triangular number? Well, 8. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 equals 36. And if you do that all the way up to 36, the sum is 666. So 8 TO 2 to 36 2 TO 666. So everything about everything, I don't know, just Trump and I seem to be joined at the hip, but in opposite directions. And don't think that the ghost in the machine doesn't track us. Don't think Trump doesn't know who we are. And that's all of y'all. But the ghost in the machine's watching everything we do. If you're a member of the church, the true church, and they know who sheep are. Even when we don't know for sure we're sheep, they know who sheep are. The fallen angels do. So I put everything in alphabetical order about what's coming. So tomorrow is basically reps the June 21st, 2020 annular eclipse that Michael says to definitely keep an eye out for. He says that, you know, that's when he's been tracking. It seems to bounce off of a lot of stuff. That hits on tomorrow. Well, it also hit on today, if you include both dates. In my original marriage date, and I just showed you that number. It's got Donald Trump in simple gematria and Trump in simple gematria coded right into my original marriage date number. And the Lord gave me that formula a long time ago. But there's a lot of other stuff I want to show you today. Anyway, I love the way we got everything now. And, you know, what I did is this is the original chart. And you start trying to sort these in alphabetical order, you can get things really mixed up. But I trimmed it down, got rid of the links, got rid of that middle column to where all the columns would move together when putting it in alphabetical order. So I like all that. I like the way we're looking at, you know, we're able to see things as they now come. Well, they didn't all move to alphabetical order, did they? Because the May 1st and all those are still down there. But we'll redo them when we get into May. We'll redo them. But at least we know what Aprils are coming up. Only one hits April 19th, and that's a January 21st, 121 coding on 2019, the year the illness began. Well, what was that? A total lunar eclipse, and I forgot to put that in. So I mean, total solar. I mean, total lunar. Yeah, total lunar. And I can remove the year the illness began because we know that. So that was like, that's that 121 coding from The Dark Knight Rises. So we decided to keep it. Plus it's the year the illness began at the end of the year. So, you know, we're tracking it, and it hits on Tuesday. Christian Bale's birthday hits on Wednesday, but not a lot. But let's get to some good stuff. We went ahead and took a look at all of those penumbral lunar eclipses of 2020. There's 4 of them. They hit, and those end up hitting on May 10th, May 9th. So, and then May 2nd, May 2nd. 2 of them, the July 5th one and the November 30th, both hit on the same day, May 2nd. Or May 1st if you include both end dates. That's big. 2 of those 4 penumbral eclipses hit on the exact same day. What about those 4 blood moons that were lunar eclipses? They were blood moons and also lunar eclipses. Well, one's going to hit on the 29th. They hit on May 7th. They hit on May 14th. They hit on May 23rd. May 14th, I do believe, has more hits than anything else. Well, only 3. So when I got hit in the paper airplane in the right eye, hits on May 14th. Trump turns 9/11 months old and Israel turns 888 months old exactly on that day, on May 14th. And lastly, the October 8th, which is 88 coding, there's a 2014 blood moon eclipse that lands. Well, we just went over that one. So all 3 things hit on May 14th. Me getting hit in the right eye by a paper airplane, remember that? December 17th. It was on a Friday right before, you know, the pagan Christmas holiday break of being a teacher. I allowed this kid that I was having to watch all day, and he, he was somebody they had me watch. I was what you call a behavior interventionist, and wasn't able to make it in the classroom. And they were like, he doesn't jive with that teacher. Teacher keeps throwing him out. He keeps acting out. He's threatened the teacher. Will you watch him? You got a good relationship with him. Will you watch him? And when I got one student, you just prop the door open in the hallway. And I sat at my computer. We got a lot accomplished that day, and he helped me on some drive-bys, some runs, like got to go pull this kid out, or got a kindergarten runner that's not properly staffed, so he's running all over campus. He would help me round them up, which you can get in a lot of trouble for if it doesn't work out right. But I trusted him, and it helped he and I build a relationship by him going on ride-alongs. That's what Nick Saban does with his Alabama players. When they act up with the law, he makes them do police rides, ride along with police officers. And then you kind of see how, So anyway, but at the end of the day, he made a paper airplane, and I let him fly it just to keep him occupied. I said, man, don't let that thing hit me. Well, from across the room, a good 20 feet away, that thing floated and hit right in my right eye. Let's do the progressions on it. Well, it lands on May 14th, Israel's anniversary. If he goes down and rises on the 3rd day, that is a total lunar eclipse just 2 days later on May 16th. We have got to keep an eye on that eye. I get it. We got to keep my right eye on that. Especially him turning 9/11 months old and Israel turning 888 months old. And it also clicks off on one of those. Remember, they were these 4 blood moon eclipses. They called it a tetrad 2 of them occurred in 2014 and 2 occurred in 2015. If you go to October 8, 2014, that is a total lunar eclipse, and it's 8/8, October 8th. So an 88 total lunar eclipse that was part of a tetrad lands on May 14th. So does my right eye wound. My right eye. Remember, Trump and I are on opposite ends of the spectrum. I'm their Antichrist. He's our Antichrist. That's why I think I have an appointed time coming. Just special. I'm not nervous about it as I sit here today, but there are times when I get very uncomfortable living alone here. So anyway, we might as well give all that a special highlight. Let's just put them all there. So yeah. Now, when he would allegedly rise, make sure there's no more floating that didn't sort properly. When he would allegedly rise on the total lunar eclipse, I am the chosen one, bounces off of that. And the December 14th total solar eclipse of when the first poke took place, December 14th, 2020. So you're telling me, and I'm telling you, that a total solar eclipse bounces off of a total lunar eclipse, along with him saying, I am the chosen one. If I had to predict a date right now and even put it ahead of October 2nd, I think I found it. I think I'm going to go with May 14th. I'm going to go with May 14th, 2022, as being the day he goes down. And there was something else I wanted to share with y'all. If you take the day I was born and run it to that date, the numbers are 22227. So it's 222 coding, like I am for 99 days starting today. I forget when that ends, but it's an interesting day that when that ends. But it's 222 coding along with the 27. And the 27 has been one of our most special numbers because of that freaky anomaly with me and my second wife that has 627, 127, 627, 127, 627. But when I met her, it was rotating at 626, 126 in the middle. And then the year we got married began the 627, 127 rotation. Remember, it's a constant rotation from infinity to infinity. Remember, we went up like the year 2077, and it was still doing it. It was like on a 631, 131 rotation. Remember that? We did that about 5 videos ago. Well, so even when I met her in 2005, it was ending up its last 2 years of 626, 126, which probably began like 12, 13 years before that. I don't know. How many years is it? It's 1, 2, 3. Well, it's 2007. It's about a 15-year rotation. 15 years it stays. So it was like the 14th and the 15th year, it was at 626, 126. Okay. There was still a 27 in our combined number, though. There was actually a 127 in it before we even rotated to the 627, 127s. because in the middle we were still at 126. It hadn't rotated yet, but there was still a 127 in it. And the year before that, there was a 27 in it. So there's been a 27 in our combined number since I have met her. And I was her 88. I remember this year, 2001, is in our combined number. You know, when the twin trumps went down. Infused with it is a 1 and a 1. That could be the twin towers. And in the middle is 127 for tower 1, tower 2, tower 7. So May 14th, 514. What do I love about 514? What do you love about 514? You remember that Bible verse? He went down and dipped himself 7 times in the Jordan. According to the saying of the Son of God, and his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. And we've proven to you that 7s are the number that God uses for cleansing. The church is about to go through its cleansing. That's why you've got the church divided into 7. And then he cleanses the earth with 7 trumpets and 7 bowls. And that is 2 Kings 5:14. Oh, how perfect is the Lord that he would open the book of Revelation and begin the cleansing of his church, which is lost right now. I mean, 99% of all sheep right now are celebrating a pagan Easter, or they're a Hindu, or they're a Buddhist, or they're an atheist. Who knows? I think most of today's Christian, so-called Christian celebrating Easter celebrators, I think are goats. I think the Lord's going to call, you know, some Christians that celebrated Easter, but some is from the Middle Eastern religion world that's, you know, celebrated Ramadan. And some Buddhist. I think he's going to call them from all types of lost. I mean, remember, I was a Roman world religion astrologer when the Lord called me. Oddly, I was still reading the Bible. I was strictly reading New Living Translation. I couldn't even understand it. King James couldn't even read. I'd read a verse in the King James and my head would spin. I was like, what in the world was that? You read it enough and it becomes like a second language, but still when I do my Bible studies, I have to, since I haven't read, like if it's Revelation or Daniel, I could read it in the King James, except for Daniel 10 and 11 or Daniel 11. But, you know, when I'm going over the New Testament and I haven't, you know, seen that stuff in 2 years, those chapters, those verses, I got to click over to the New Living and read it in that, and then compare it to the King James just to make sure it's correct. So that 514 is big, 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 big. Are there any 514s in her and I's combined number, I wonder? Nope. I mean, last year there was 5 8s, 8 8 8 8 8 8 8. It's that old 1955, and it don't have any 514s. Nope. Now, 1961, I just want to take a look at just the year I was born, the year she was born. I got an 89, which is her third marriage number right there, fused with a 92, which this year we moved into the 92. It began with, it had been in 91 since I'd met her. 91's at the beginning. If I end up remarrying my second wife, that is just going to be, that's just going to blow my mind. And so 624 is in the middle rotation. Remember, now it's all the way up to 627, and it rotates every 15 years. I think in 1973, she's on the 124. Let's divide it back by 1961. You get our number, our combined number, and times it by 1973. If I'm not mistaken, she's in my rotation. Yeah, 624. Same as time as my year. Isn't that weird? And hers begins with the 89 also, her third marriage number. There's the 514, y'all. 514 in her. That's why I wanted to look at my year and her year that she was born. There's 144,000. There's the 144 fused in with a 514. That church is about to go through its cleansing. That was our combined number the year she was born. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm telling y'all, that May 14th is looking big. The anniversary of Israel. Where does he declare himself to be God? In Israel. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. What do y'all think? Hit in my right eye by a paper airplane. Rolls up to the 14th. Y'all remember I came here and I did a video on it. Sure as all get out. I'll find that thing. I went to where I got close and I wanted to see where I was. It was the first one I clicked on. It's an hour and 35-minute video, and it starts off with it. It says, gets better as it goes, I promise. One loaded video while I'm as tired as I can possibly be. Listen to this. I got to tell y'all, December 17th. Absolute craziest. December 17th. Craziest thing happened to me. And by the way, this was way before Michael discovered the 222-666-888, which led me to then throw in, just chop it all up into 37, because all those divide into 37. And then we began this quest. We began this investigation. We began this research. We started running all these numbers and these dates and these eclipses. And I said, why not do that when I got hit in the right eye? Why not? So before I knew it, I mean, I didn't know that that date was going to land on May 14th by a 37, because we hadn't discovered a 37 yet. Today, and I didn't realize how crazy it was until driving and thinking about it. Because when you're at school, I'm a behavior interventionist now. I'm no longer a PE coach. I'm 60 years old. Hey, I'm a young 60. I was glad to get this new gig. I don't have my own students anymore. I go around and help teachers with students. I help pull students out of classroom, talk to them, try to bridge back the relationship between them and the teacher before the teacher writes the referral. Let's see if we can get it back right. Teachers would text me or call me, or the office would call me because teachers had buzzed in and they'd be like, get Stokes here. I love doing that, by the way. It was only when they started making me sub and keep 4 kids permanently, along with lunch duties or PE duties. It got to be too much. And I started dreading going to work. The subbing is what killed me. And it was only 5th grade or 4th grade that I would have to sub in. They never asked me to sub a 2nd or 1st grade because that would be too easy. It would be where they really needed me, and it was too much. Help students with teachers, I because sometimes there's just a rift
and, take a lot of the load off the administrators. They're very happy I'm there. I'm very appreciative for it. I know that anything that I do well on that job is coming from the Lord. I don't have, we just know that. You don't ever sit there with pride or being proud about anything or something that you do well. Daniel was given the ability to do an amazing job when he was working for the Babylonians and then the Medes and the Persians as captive in their land. Well, we're all captive. This world belongs, of course, to Satan and Lucifer, and God has made sure of that. He's the one that's ordained it.
Let's get to the right eye story.
Mad at the goats.
The crazy story you started talking about.
And like Michael, the way Michael put it, I thought was just eloquent. It was like, I hate what they do, or, we're not supposed to be friends with them or cozy with them or chummy with them.
Mm-mm.
And, it says to have no fellowship with them. By the way, I'm going to start getting a lot more clarity because I'm going to start taking this stuff called Organifi called Pure. It's got lion's mane in it. And I'm really wiped out. I'm super tired. So let's just kind of get to the point of everything.
Let's get to the point. Yeah.
Short video today and
I can see,
keep going.
I can see why this was an hour and 35 minutes long. I was spent after working all day. Way over caffeinated. I'm more than sure.
Well, stuff. I got hit in the right eye today by an airplane. Twin Towers, airplane, right eye wound.
Unstinking believable.
Keep going with stuff. I got hit in the right eye today by an airplane. Twin Towers, airplane, right eye wound, the right eye. I had a kid in my room.
Same story.
And like an absolute idiot.
I'll let him fly paper airplane.
Let's just say that my administrators love the fact that he stays with me and stays out of trouble. And we're going to get him back into the general population.
They had to, and I quit. I put in my notice.
We all return back from break, but he's made leaps and bounds. He's just, he's got a tough taskmasking teacher. He's a taskmaster.
Well, I was ate up, wasn't
I? He talks to him very bluntly, and this kid is not somebody you can speak bluntly to. And so, as the kid's grandfather said, he will fight a grown man. He's 13, but he's in there with fifth graders. So that should paint a picture for you a little bit, right? And
all right, I think I can slow it back down. I think we're getting to the story.
We just had a great day, and he had a paper airplane. He brought a book bag today. He brought like a briefcase, brought math problems.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
He brought stuff.
Like he was really like
other schools
into
for
school
us to work on today. We've accomplished plenty. We did great. Everybody's happy with what he's doing. I let him fly the airplane around. Told him I'd fly with him a little bit. I said, just don't let that thing hit me in my eye. Literally joking. 3 hours previous. And, we had a little competition trying to fly planes. But I'm sitting at my computer at the end of the day. We're just killing time at the end of the day. It's the end of the day.
So he had like picked the airplane back up that he and I had fooled with 3 hours previous,
I got to go out and do my duty. And y'all, I can't lie to y'all. If I lie to y'all, I'm a goat of a goat. Can't sit here and just tell you a lie. His plane flew and stuck in my right. I remember like it sat, I think because I blinked and even like had it.
Like it didn't hit and fall immediately. Like it stayed there. It was the doggonedest. I know it happened in a split second, but it felt like it's 5:14, y'all. It felt like it stayed there for like 5 seconds, which obviously it didn't, but it was that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? It felt like it did. Y'all, that 5:14 is looming. Is he going to Israel? Is he going to go to Israel to celebrate their 74th, if I'm not mistaken, Michael said. Well, know what you said, Michael? It's their 74th. Yep. Yep. Isn't 74th a progression of 37? Yep. 1985 was the first progression. I'll be. Has that number not been popping up like crazy, Michael? 1985. That's from Back to the Future. That's when it was released, right? Or was that the setting of the year? Back to the Future, 1985. That's the year it was released. Look up there in the URL. 88763. It's got 88 for Candy's second marriage progression to me, 87 for her original marriage number, 887. So there's an 88 and an 87, along with a 76, which is my birthday, July 6th. 76 is also Adam and Strong's Concordance. Unbelievable. And before it's 2 zeros. So it's like 008 instead of 007. That's the URL for Back to the Future. How crazy is that? Unbelievable. There it is for you. 008's got the 88, 87 for Candy's 2 marriage numbers. And she was my what? She was my, since my first wife was 62, she's my 63. She was my 63 as my wife when I was her 88. Look at all that. That's crazy. All fused into that Back to the Future. And also wasn't 1985. October 26, 1985 is when they went 88 miles per hour. Yep, October 26, 1985 at 1:18 a.m. I'd like to run that for the exact time Trump's born, see how many seconds that ends up being, right? It's crazy. Nothing really big on it. The seconds it does have a 311 in the middle of it. But wow, y'all. This 514 thing, man, is blowing my mind. So if you do if we load up the 514 and keep going up 37 progressions, it ends on the last day of spring. Then it, guess what it lands on then? 727, the length of IPEC goat, up 74 days from when he's going down. Go up 111, the next progression, September 2nd, or 92. 148 lands on October 9th, which is the full moon. That's a total lunar eclipse. A blood moon. It's a blood moon. It's a blood moon, blood moon, blood moon. It's in the progression of a blood moon, October 9th. It's 148, which comes to Donald J. Trump and simple gematria, as J is 10, because Donald Trump is 138. So, yep. Wow. It's fascinating, isn't it? It's that, and that particular blood moon is not an eclipse. It's just a blood moon. Blood moon, October 9th. $455. First three digits of Candy and I's combined number. Well, might as well play it on out. The next progression is 185. It lands on November 15th. December 22nd. January 28th. Oh, what is it? Hang on a second. And it's 296, 333, 370. March 6th. April 12th. And we think 8 days after that is the abomination of desolation on a total solar eclipse. If we're right, if we count the days to the total solar eclipse, so that would be from a total lunar eclipse. Well, no, it's 2 days before it. 341 days. I was just checking something out there. Anyway, it's very interesting, very fascinating. Yep. Yep. I don't know, man. There's a lot of other days. I'm sure that would interest us. I mean, I was liking that July 18th. Remember that Porsche 911, Porsche 718. I was liking that July 18th. I was liking all kind of stuff, but I got to go ahead and lock into 514 right now. Got to lock into it, man. Gotta. Trump announcing when he had it lands on 592 days. You have to have 592 to make a progression. So I went up and looked up the next progression, 592, 555 to 592. And so we already passed the 555. So 592 is the next one. And it hits on May 17th. Well, May 16th. If you include both days as an end date. So we'll put the -1 there. Yep. That's crazy, huh? Jeez, everything's crazy. Yep. That's wild, man. All right, I'm not gonna bore y'all anymore. Just trying to get a lot done. All right, love y'all very much.